Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Townbeef Radio. As everyone is aware, we had this last year and it kind of stopped by, but I decided to bring in some familiar faces with some new faces in the 2014 version of Townbeef Radio as we lead up just a little bit more than 24 hours away from week one of the 2014 beef season. Please welcome John Deli himself and Big Mo, the 2013 Defensive Rookie of the Year, to the show. This is where you guys are supposed to say hello, because now it's a conversation.
I was letting Big Mo go first. I have more respect for him.
Oh, you have more respect for him. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, Big Mo, this is where you come in and say hello to people.
What's wrong with him?
Is Big Mo even there anymore?
How did you lose him?
I have no idea
How would you lose him? How can you possibly screw this up?
How did I screw this up? How did I screw this up? How did you screw this up?
I didn't screw anything up.
You screw everything up. You're Captain Screwjob. Okay? That's what you do in life. Well, I guess we'll figure out what Big Mo is doing very shortly, and we'll take it from there. But for right now, let's kind of just jump right into things. With Beef Bowl 9 coming around, we're 1 year away from the 10th anniversary of Townbeef. What do you envision for the 2014 season with some of these new teams coming in the league, some of these old teams coming back, and then kind of the balance of power that we've seen shift a little bit?
You know what? I mean, I really wish that I did go to every single game in the fall. Not that that means much, but we need more of an update, almost like how, the NFL Total Access is, to keep everybody zoned in on the moves that are made and everything that's going on, so you can really put a pin into previewing the season. I mean, it makes it a little bit more of a surprise for tomorrow, which I can't wait to see who's on what team and who gels well with who. I'm excited to see these swag guys start with SWG and see how they do over there, because they were my teammates last year. So I would love to see how that goes. I want to see how the Chiefs bulked up. I'm a big fan of the Chiefs. I envision them going into, possibly the championship this year. I want to see what Savage has on the table, who they brought in, who they lost. I want to see what the Zone 6 is about. I want to see if Wrecking Crew is the Wrecking Crew I played with, 2 years ago, that powerhouse team. I really wish I could put a pin in it, but I don't know enough about these teams. I don't know who they acquired. I'm not a Facebook person, so I'm not on there, every single day looking at it. But I am really excited for tomorrow and to see who's going to bring competition to the table. I'm sick of it being the same 2 or 3 teams every year. I want to see everybody be a contender. I want there to be a fight into the playoffs. That's what I want it to be. But I'm picking the Chiefs for my. I mean, they're not really a surprise. It's just, they don't have the championship. Everybody talks about chips and whatnot, but I'll tell you something. Each and every year since they've been in the league, the one team you do not want to see on your schedule are the Chiefs. I don't care if you beat them or not. You knew on Monday into Tuesday into Wednesday you'd still be feeling it. So that's what I have for tomorrow as of now. We can go game by game if you would like.
Great. Now, I believe Big Mo is actually on the call, but isn't talking. I don't know what's going on. So, Big Mo, are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Did you press mute on your phone there?
I didn't mute, bro. You guys, I see what you guys did, man, because I'm a rookie. I'm new to this shit. You guys are zoning me out for now, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, that's got to be it.
That's definitely the one. That he nailed it.
Yeah, I know. You guys were on this call before I was, but
April Fool.
Let's get into
With
it.
that said, what do you think of the 2014 season?
I think, personally, I've been in the league for 1 year. Looking at this schedule, listen, I could almost guarantee not one team is going to go undefeated. I think it is a very, very competitive schedule. A lot of new requirements, unlike Deli, because he's grandfathered in. I'm up to date on technology, so I'm on the boards, as you guys can all tell. A lot of pickups. I've seen a lot of pickups. A lot of, familiar faces, new teams, including myself. I'm on the Chiefs. You know, a lot of big teams. I know the BIC picked up Laidback Jones, Levine, Jaleel Tay. I know SWG picked up most of what I believe was called swag in James Anthony, Old School, Lionel, and Matty Ice. You know, Wrecking Crew I haven't seen play, but, you know, from what I hear, Wrecking Crew is Wrecking Crew. I know what Zone 6 is about, familiarity with that team. And, you know, I mean, I'm just going to keep it real. You know, I don't see others besides those teams doing work, you know. I think this 2014 schedule is very, very balanced. I think the Bulls did a great job in picking the right teams, right schedule. I can't forget about Savage. Nobody can forget about Savage. I don't want to get ripped by Olay and Isaac and all of them on the boards. You know how they are.
Don't worry about them, Bo. Don't worry about them.
Because, you know, they come out with the memes, man. Those are the meme generators. But not to take anything away from any of these other teams, you know, any given Sunday. So, I mean, I can't wait. I've been looking forward to it. I've been on the boards. I've been talking shit. I, quite frankly, don't care what anybody has to say. I just want to get this beef season going, man.
Love it.
I feel you. And you guys both brought up a great point. This schedule is probably the toughest schedule that any team has ever had, period. And from top to bottom, from the Warriors to the Spartans to SWG, everyone has got a tough schedule.
Do you understand that it doesn't matter? Somebody will complain. You understand that, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone is absolutely going to complain. I mean, there were players on my own team, Zone 6, that complained that we had a tough schedule just because we faced the top 5 or top 6 teams, including the Hawks, right? But you then had guys on the Chiefs that were claiming the same thing, and they've got a cookie-cutter schedule. Just ask Big Mo. I mean, it's got probably the easiest fucking thing in the entire league. But you still got people complaining and whining all the goddamn time.
Yeah,
but in the end, everybody has got the same schedule. Everyone's playing everybody. Everyone's got a tough schedule. And the one thing that I think that I could be pretty concerned with is that you could possibly see this year a team like the Warriors, a team like the Spartans, who may not have been able to pick up all the players that they have or that they need to compete, but could possibly sneak into the playoffs because the top 5 and top 6 teams are just going to be beating up on each other all the time. You know? Okay. So you may run into a situation like that, and that I think is going to be a problem with the schedule. But other than that, I think it's a really great way of being able to kick off the season and kick off the new look beef with how tough the schedule is for everybody.
I love week 1, man. I do. It sucks that we got to put up with this weather. It's not going to be as bad as everybody's anticipating, but it does suck going into, you know, every year it seems like it's getting worse in beef. I remember when it used to be like 61 degrees when we opened up, and now it's 30 degrees in a wintry mix. Go figure. But who gives a shit, man? It's football weather. I don't know what the hell everybody's complaining about. I mean, we used to play on the worst fields. You know, when we first started in this league, no referees, no nothing. Everything worked out fine, dude. It was like we were playing on concrete. So what? We're fine. It's beef, bro. That's why we're in this league. Let's just play and get it over with and enjoy tomorrow, because that's really what I'm looking forward to.
That's a 42-year-old veteran speaking, ladies and gentlemen. John Deli saying, let's get it the fuck on. Stop bitching. Bring your nuts. Let's play some fucking football.
It really is the truth, though, Mo. Like, what the hell's going on, man? It's like all these new generations, like, all they want to do is, oh, we need to play on turf. Oh, we need to shut the fuck up, bro. You signed up for beef. Play beef. I'll play on the concrete if you guys wanted to. Like, stop it. It's football. Stop.
I'm anticipating the Wizards team coming on, the one the Balls was talking about, the Wizards. Shout out to you old timers, man, because, listen, I don't know how you guys do this shit, man. This is crazy. You guys come in and you guys ball the fuck out. And, you know, I watched film on the old beef, and that's what I'm trying to do and bring that shit back as the new player, the new face of beef. You know, I've been talking to Deli, Peckin, I've been talking to the Balls here and there. I've been talking to some of the old timers. And, I watched those films, and those dudes, I'm assuming you guys didn't have the boards. So you guys just went there and played fucking football.
That's it, bro. That's what we
Big Mo, you must have missed it because we had the boards when the boards was actually a message board. And it was just reply after reply after reply. The single greatest thing I've ever fucking seen was Mitch Rivera, Murder Mitch, writing go kill yourself or something to Waldy 600 times in different language each time. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That was beef, because on Sunday the two of them played against each other.
Exactly.
Right? There was no fighting. There was
nothing.
There was nothing.
Nothing.
It was
nothing like that, bro.
For 7 straight days in different languages every time, and then it was nothing but football on Sunday. And that is what Townbeef was. That's the way it grew. That's the way it got built. Right? And Deli knows a lot more than I have because I've only been around for 4 years. But this league has gone soft. People talking about other people and whining about this and crying about that and come see me after the game and, I'm here. I'm not easy. It's not easy to find, or it's not hard to find me, whatever the case may be. Everybody's always trying to throw down. And it's fucking stupid.
I need to honestly make a statement. Big Mo, let me just tell you something, bro. I haven't seen more of a shit talker, okay, in Big Mo, who will shake your hand after the game, say good game, and then bust balls on the boards. That's exactly what everyone in this league should be doing. None of this bullshit, see me after the game, let me go to my bag, let me go to my truck. You guys have to realize something. Whoever's going to listen to this league will stay at a standstill if we continue to let this happen. 100%. 100%. There's no denying it. We could have Dallas Cowboys Stadium every Sunday. This league will not progress if we still have the characters that act like that every Sunday. You want to talk shit on the field, on the boards, whatever the fuck it may be, once you step over that line, that's the no investment line, where nobody else will invest in this league except us if all that stuff keeps to continue. We have to have a business mind state going into this thing. I understand it's football, toughen up, all that stuff, but if people keep doing the threats, not even connecting but throwing punches or squaring up or whatever it is, who the hell in their right mind is going to invest into that? Nobody. I know I wouldn't. I know you two wouldn't. It's a business at the end of the day. I understand we're having fun, but we need to progress this. Don't you guys want to be on TV one day? I know I'm having pipe dreams here with that, but it's very possible that something like that could happen. This is that once-in-a-generation thing. You know what I mean? This is it. This is what it could be. You never know. Everybody starts somewhere. This is our start. We all need to help Ryan. We need to stop the bullshit. Control your people. Stop it. Play football. Stop getting tackled, getting up, and getting mad because you got tackled. Grow the fuck up and run the person over the next play. It's as simple as that. I don't understand what the problem is. It's really fucking simple.
If I'm getting pancaked by fucking Peckin, bro, I'm getting mad. I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay? If I get tossed around by Peckin, I'm feeling some type of way. But at the end of the day, I mean, if I get pancaked by Peckin, I'm never playing football again. I'm just sick.
You guys have jokes. But I'm out here making minimum wage. Flapjack.
Listen, man. Listen. In all honesty, man, I agree with both of what you guys said, man. From what I heard, I mean, I told everybody, Chris Johnson and Tyree McQueen were the ones that introduced me to beef. They were like, yo, man, it's shit talking, it's street football, you play in the park, you have fun, that's all it is. That's what my impression was. I come on here, I see some of the sensitive shit. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. People got to put their fucking egos away. On the boards, on the field. Everybody played football that's in beef. Everybody played, most of the people played high school football. Some people were lucky enough to play college. Some people won rings. Other people, all these accolades. Listen, it's beef. We're all playing beef for the same fucking reason. That's because we love the fucking game. There's nothing like beef. I tell people all the time. People call me nuts.
Nuts, stupid, crazy. Yep.
But listen, people won't understand. I tell them all the time, you won't understand until you get on the field and you try it out. It's addicting. Like, this is my new fucking fix. This shit is addicting. But people just got to put their egos aside, man. It's street football, man. I mean, I talk shit on the boys just to, lighten shit up, get people going, and then I correct spelling mistakes because I fucking hate bad grammar. I hate bad grammar, so. But anyway, that's just me. Put your egos aside. Let's play some football. Let's have some fun, man. That's all it is, man. Let's have some fun, man. We're a fucking fraternity at the end of the day. Let's blow the fuck out, bring our nuts. Let's put on a show for everybody, man.
That's it,
Absolutely.
bro. It's as simple as that. I mean, we really need to. People need to man up. At the end of the day, I've never seen so many people say, "Oh, I'm a grown-ass man," and then they cry their eyes out if they're not on some made-up top 5 list that Isaac puts up on the board. They cry over it. If they're not, shut up, bro. Go prove them wrong. Go out there on Sunday, smack whoever in the face, and prove them the fuck wrong. I'm glad I'm not on any list because you know what? Man up and step in front of me. That's all. It's as simple as that. Why? What the hell is wrong with everybody? Grown-ass men. Like fucking babies. Stop it.
So, with that said, let's get right into what we think of the 2014 season.
Yeah, let's
Before
do
we
that.
start talking about predictions for tomorrow, let's start talking about what we think is going to happen for 2014. Big Mo, what are your thoughts on the year?
I mean, my thoughts on the year, man, like I said before, man, it starts with the competitive schedule. I fuck with it. I love it. There's no sort-out, easy, cupcake schedule. You know, personally, I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I think this team is going to win it because I'm confident in myself. I'm a Chief. We're going to come fucking ready to ball. But, you know, there's other teams in here. I know the Bombers, they got their old crew back. I saw some of their old film. They look serious. They picked up Chris Johnson. You know, Savage is Savage. You know, SWG, I'm kind of up in the air with them. I don't know. But they're still SWG. They lead with the chips. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But I tell you one thing, there ain't going to be not one easy game and not one easy W. That's for sure. I don't believe that. And I'm not taking anything away from those lower part teams that were lower part last season, but I just haven't seen or heard anything. So prove me wrong, but I think it's just I can't wait. I'm stoked. I cannot fucking wait for this season, and I just want to get it out.
So who are you predicting as to be your champion of 2014? And no, you can't say yourself.
The fucking Chiefs, motherfucker.
I just said you can't say yourself.
I honestly
believe
you
pick yourself.
Listen, I honestly believe we got what it takes to win, man. I honestly do believe that. There's some things you guys don't know that we kept off the board. I think we're going to come ready to ball. But, you know, it's up in the air, man. I got us winning it, man. Fuck with that. Fuck everybody, man. Fuck all these other teams.
Deli, what would you like to say about that?
I would like to say for him to pick a team other than his own. Now.
Oh, my God. All right. Listen, man. If I had to say it, man, I had to look at it by looking at who came back, man. The Bombers look fucking strong, man.
Love it.
The Bombers look.
Of course you love it.
Of course I love it because I knew he was going to say that. That's why I made him do that. Because I knew he was going to say it. You have to understand something. On Sundays, when I'm down in Sayreville, I get to see that defense. I played against the Bombers since the start of this league, and I can honestly say they have the best defense that I have seen in them as a team. I'm not saying the best in the league. I'm saying the best that they've ever had, and that's fucking scary because there was a stretch where they didn't give up a fucking touchdown. And I'm telling you,
so where's that defense? Where's that defense in the fall? Where was it? Because it was there. You had Fweezy, you had Karan, you had Dobie, you had KJ, you had Sal, you had everybody.
It was just fall. Relax.
Oh, stop it. You know what? I'm sick and tired of you fucking big-ass teams that are leading the league, and you just think that fall doesn't matter. Fuck that shit. Fall matters.
You know what?
It's a game, and everyone is laced up, and you're playing ball. And if you've got your entire roster there, it fucking matters. Okay? You can be SWG and say it don't matter because you're not on the field. So that you've got
Listen, first of all, it's not your time because you asked me what I thought, and you're speaking for most of it. Number one, my team that I would pick if it wasn't the Bombers is the Chiefs, like I said before, and I'll stand strong with that. That's number one. Mo, I know you love that. Anyway, number two, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, Zone 6. I want you personally to set up a passing game on the Bombers this year because I'll be at that game and so will you. And I want to see if it works. Because
okay. And I think you know exactly what Zone 6 has to offer, and I think you know exactly what's going to happen. So I don't even want to hear this talking about we've got the best fucking defense. One of your cornerbacks is leaving for the Navy. Your other cornerback isn't even that good in Karan. You know what I mean? Like, it's just silly, right? We've got the best defense, yet your defense wasn't even that good in the fall, and it's the same exact fucking personnel.
Hold on, Mr. Host. Now, I know that Big Mo listens when people speak because he's a very well-educated man, and I clearly stated, I never said that they're going to have the best defense in the league. I said that it's the best Bombers defense that I've ever seen. However you want to take that is on you, sir, and turn it around in the media. But I never said the best defense. Just remember that. I never friggin' said that because I haven't seen Savage play yet this year. I haven't seen SWJ and all the other teams play yet. The Chiefs, haven't seen any of these teams play. I'm saying, personally, for being in the league for 9 years, I have played against the Bombers all 9 years, and this is the best defense that they've had in all of 9 years. I promise that.
Okay.
Hey, can I say something?
What's that?
Listen, can I give you the reason why I picked the Bombers before both you assholes cut me off?
Yeah, right. See? Rude. Justin, rude.
Listen, Isaac, I believe it was Isaac that posted on the boards, if you can't pick your team, what team would you pick to win it all? And I did pick the Bombers. My reasons are, listen, ST, hell of an athlete. I've seen his film. I see what he can do. You put Chris Johnson in that offense with those weapons around him.
So,
you got ST, you got Big White, you got Karan, who is also Rookie of the Year. That dude can get up there and get those balls, man. Chris Johnson got one of the best arms in Townbeef. And I think that offense is going to I think that offense is going to make up for a lot. Defensively, you know, you named them already, Peckin, man. They got KJ up front. They got Fleas, you know, Mr. Wave in your face, Fleas, you know, he always does that annoying shit. You got Dovey. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, you guys should know after watching the fall.
Here's what's going to come down to the whole thing. Let me finish.
Stop cutting him off.
You want to talk about, okay, not having the best corners and stuff. Let me tell you something, man. In beef, a good pass rush will make up for a mediocre secondary. And the Bombers do have that.
And a mediocre offensive line, which is what the Bombers currently have, unless they're bringing back JD, unless they're bringing back the other big guy, number 50. I can't remember his name. I apologize. If you're bringing back the core offensive line, then I'll give it to you, right? I'll do that right now, okay? But for someone to say that this is the best Bombers defense we've ever seen in 9 years, and they were mediocre at best during the fall. Yes, they did what they were supposed to do against the Maulers. Yes, they did what they were supposed to do against this team and that team, okay? But clearly they couldn't stop the Gunners' offense. They were having trouble stopping the Rock Boys' offense, okay? They are great players individually, and I'll never take that away from them. They are great players individually. Dovey is 1-2, you know, however you want to look at it, 1-2 linebacking core, right? Fleazy is fucking insane. He's fast, he's strong, he hits, he raps. You can't stop him, okay? But then you've got KJ. Fast, strong, will play the game, but complains way too much, holding this and holding that. Sal, he's really fast and can hit really hard, but unfortunately he's a little too small to be playing linebacker position, and unless they've got him at safety, which I don't think they've got because that's what Karan plays. Of course, Deli knows more than I know, but this is just based on my opinion. In the end, okay, I don't think it's going to be the Bombers other than my own team, right? And I can't even say that it'll be my own team. I've got all the confidence in the world in the 30 guys that are going to suit up on Sundays every fucking week, and that'll never, ever change. But we still have to play the fucking game, okay? But in the end of the day, we both know what Chris Johnson's weaknesses are, okay? He gets flustered in the pocket, and although he can throw on the run and he can move because he's quick as fuck, okay? If he is getting hit and he has got people in his face all game, he has a problem getting rid of the ball. And when you have a problem getting rid of the ball and you have a shitty-ass offensive line like I believe that the Bombers currently do, if anything from the fall repeats itself, okay, it's not going to matter who their quarterback is. It's because King was getting eaten alive against the Gunners defense, which is now zone 6, minus, of course, Old School and Lil Mo. But he was getting eaten alive. And ST is a better athlete than Chris Johnson is. And that's pure fact. And there's no one who's ever going to argue with me. So to answer the question, in my personal and honest opinion, I think this is the year of the Chiefs.
Oh, really? You went with me on that one. I like it.
I think this is the year of the Chiefs. Of course, we do not know what extra pickups they've made outside of Lil Mo and Big Mo. They've got a bunch of hidden wide receivers and cornerbacks and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Who the fuck cares? But in the end, you've got the defensive rookie of the year in Big Mo clogging up the middle of the field with number 99, can't remember his name, it's Brito, and then you've got Drew, okay? That is a hell of a defensive line, okay? One that can almost be uncomparable outside of the Savage, right? You've got Roman, who may be coming back. You've got Red. You've got Martinez. You've got T-Bone. You've got the players that can be in place to be able to make a run, and then you add all these other pieces that you guys have been talking about. So in the end, I don't think it's going to be the Bombers. I also just don't see it, Deli. And again, you could be completely wrong. The Bombers have always been the Bombers, and they will continue to be the Bombers.
Like always, you're always wrong. So.
I'm never wrong. I mean, that's
no, not you. Not you, Justin.
It's pure fact. I'm never wrong. Okay, I've got a 90% success rate. 90%.
In what?
In life. Okay.
Yeah, in life. Good.
So
you guys stop picking the Chiefs, all right? That's number one. I don't want you guys picking the Chiefs suck, and we're just gonna come ready to ball. That's what we're gonna do. So with that being said, let's get into these predictions, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into them, man.
Absolutely. So week 1 kicks off with, in my opinion, a pretty lousy game. This is one that, for the most part, no one can. Half of the SWG team doesn't even have to show up. But you've got the Rebels and you've got the Gators. What say you?
All right, let's see here. Rebels, huh? Rebels. Why is that ringing a bell?
Because you don't pay attention to Dick.
Rebels. I'm trying to remember them from, and I wish I was being like sarcastic and funny, like, who are they? They suck. I'm not trying to do that. I hope it's a 7-6 game, but why aren't the Rebels ringing a bell?
The Rebels are a new team. It's their first spring year. They played in the fall this past year. They're run by Frank Escobar, who I believe is a defect of the Chiefs. He may not have been on the Chiefs, but he knows people something. There was definitely some rivalry in the very beginning of the summer season last year.
Okay.
Really, the Rebels are going to offer a couple of pieces, and that's, of course, if their roster is still the same. Their quarterback is decent, doesn't have really that much of an arm, isn't going to be that very mobile, but he'll call an offense. They've got a pretty decent tight end in Dudley. I think his name is Michael Dudley Jr. Could be wrong on his first name, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. He has got some size. He's got some hands to him. He's probably more of a wide receiver, but not as fast as a wide receiver because he can't really play the position. But he'll go up and he'll get a ball. And then you've got the big number 34 running back. He's nothing like T-Bone. He's nothing like P. Gunna, but he's definitely got some size to him, and he'll run someone over. SWG is a no-brainer, right? You've got Moo, pure skills. I don't know if Chick will be out there, but in honesty, the biggest pickup they made was the former swag wide receiver, Derek Harris. And I know, Mo, that you've played with him in college, so, let's hear a little bit about what you think of Derek and SWG.
SWG is SWG, man. First of all, congratulations to the reigning Townbeef Beef Bowl champs, SWG. Let's throw that out there. I don't think we mentioned that. SWG won it last year, putting a whooping on the A-team from Pennsylvania, which I can't stand. And, SWG is SWG, man. Listen, I know they lost a couple key pieces going back to the Bombers. But to answer your question, Derek Harris, a good friend of mine, played with him at college, real humble guy, tall receiver. He's going to make plays, man. He's deceptively quick, and he is a go-get-it type of receiver. I've seen him play in college and in pads. Townbeef's a little different, but I think SWG is going to take this, man. This one might be over by halftime, third quarter. That's how I see it. I just don't think they can match up. If Chick comes, throat cheese, you got Derek Harris, you got pure skills, Moose Spit, I just SWG is SWG. I can't take nothing away from them. I think this game's going to be over quick. My personal opinion.
Any thoughts, Deli?
Yeah, you know what? I do have a question because I saw something come up that Moo had posted up when I believe Gundy had retired and then came back or whatever it was, and Moo had mentioned Martin's name. What's going on? What's going on with Martin? Does anybody know? He's not playing?
No, I'm not aware of anything.
You did see? Did you understand? Do you see what I'm talking about though? Did you see that comment or no?
No, I did not.
Okay,
no,
I'm pretty sure he said it.
But that's huge. I'm pretty sure Moose has a couple tricks up his sleeve. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
oh, of course. No, I'm sure he does. I was just asking because we were on the game.
Some of those SWG players that are on the sidelines, could be another beef squad from what I was watching. That's how much talent they had. I mean, I don't know who's coming back to them, who's not coming back to them. Martin, one of the top 5 offensive linemen in the game, one of the top 5 inside guys in the game. I haven't heard anything about that. I hope everything's all right. I don't know what's going on with him. But what's your prediction, Deli? I made my prediction.
No, it's SWG all the way. I have nothing to take from the Rebels. I just don't know enough about them to select them over the not only the reigning champs, but one of the best teams that ever, graced this league. I don't care who they lost, who they added. At the end of the day, they're still SWG, and until they, go on a streak of losses or start to fall apart, there's no way I would pick against them. So, obviously, just SWG all the way. It might be done by halftime, and the 12 o'clock game might start at 11:30.
Yeah, it's a good call. So, honestly, outside of the Chiefs versus the Animals, outside of Wrecking Crew versus Zone 6, which are going to be great, 2 great matchups.
Game of the week.
The other matchup that is something that we can really, really talk about is going to be Hawks at BIC. This is going to be a battle or a rematch of the final week of last year's season and then the first week of the playoffs, in which case BIC won both of those matchups. But if anybody remembers what actually happened in that first week of playoffs, there was no Vergis. Right. And the final score was 8-0. Right. Now you add a Hawks team that has added Paleo at quarterback, so they actually have a guy that can play the fucking position the correct way. They've added Joe from the Thrashers. If anyone actually knows what this kid is capable of, just watch the film. The dude is an absolute monster. He's that Wayne Corbett, Wes Welker type receiver with a little bit more height. He's going to make some plays for Paleo, absolutely. And while they lost Morrison back to the Warriors, that offense is a lot more updated than it was last year. And then you look at a BIC team that is losing Vergis. He'll be back at some point this year, but for the first couple of weeks, he's probably not going to be there. And although they've added Jaleel and they've added some other gunners, that offense and that defense have been pretty suspect without their key guy, without Vergis in the lineup. So what do you guys think of the Hawks-BIC matchup in week 1?
Well, I'm excited to see it. I want to see what both teams bring to the table. I didn't know about the whole Vergis thing. That always makes the BIC games interesting. I know what it feels like. I know how Carl feels. I know how the BIC members feel when, all the teams take shots at them for, if Vergis doesn't show up, you guys are going to lose, or he's your whole team. I understand how they feel. I really do, because we had Quan back in the day. Everybody did the same thing. So what BIC needs to do is they need to say, fuck you to everybody, and go play football and act like the guy is there, or have a game plan around them. I'm not saying they can't, because they've proved that before, and I hope that they do, because BIC has come from nothing, one of the worst teams in the league, to what Carl made it today, and Vergis has been a part of it, since day one. He just, he increased his manpower, and, Carl started just picking up left and right and just solidifying his team. So I really hope, even without Vergis there, I don't want to see a blowout. I want to see a close game, and I want to see a surprise. I wouldn't mind seeing the Hawks win, but I'm not going to pick against BIC, obviously not, because I played against them. And, even without Vergis, they're still a dangerous team defensively. Obviously they have their gaps and their holes. I'm not going to say they're one of the best, but I still think that they have what it takes to get it done, as long as they have the rest of the roster. If you take Nemeth out of there as well, now there's no Nemeth, no Verges, then you're talking a whole different thing. But I don't know. This is why we need those updates. I think it should be mandatory that captains should hand in injury updates, 100%. Because now everybody would know. We'll have a little access thing going on for the radio show, who's out, who's injured, who's not, and we can predict these games a little bit better so Peckin doesn't only pick one right game a week. It'll be, better for you.
90% success rate, Deli. 90% success rate.
That
said, I want to ask you a big question here. I want to ask you a question. You know some of these Gunners guys, Big Mo. You played with them in the fall. You know exactly what these guys have to offer. But with Levine not playing, or at least claiming he's not going to play, is Laidback Jones and Jaleel going to make that much of a difference with Verges out of the lineup?
Look, first of all, let me start out by saying I want to see this matchup. I don't think I'm going to make it out there this early. I think this is going to be a very good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think this game goes down to the wire. You mentioned the pickups of Pelayo. I think they have a quarterback now. The Hawks are a tough team, man. The Hawks are a tough team. They got Ashola running the ball. They got Money running the ball. They're just put your hat on, go to work type of scruffy team. Shout out to Bobby Newman, man. He does a great job with that, a great leader. I think BIT got this one. I think I haven't heard much about the Hawks defense. Watching them, they were a little suspect. Seeing them in the fall, they were a little suspect. Last spring, BIC, you mentioned they picked up Laidback Jones, one of the, I think, top 5 athletes in beef. I can't put him at a specific position, but I think that dude can do a lot in beef. Jaleel, very good running back, open space, make you miss, tough little dude. He ain't no Verges, man. Let's get that out the way. And Deli, you brought up a good point with them saying, we're saying BIC gets mad or Verges ain't there. Listen, let's keep it fucking real. Verges makes that much of a difference, okay? I don't care what nobody says. There's no sugarcoating it. Verges makes that much of a difference. But Jaleel, Laidback, Nemeth, Big Rob up front, I believe it's Big Will up front too. If they give Nemeth the time and he gets some time back there, I'm sure he's going to make some plays. To answer your question, Peck, I think Laidback and Jaleel will make a difference on offense. Of course, Verges changes the whole aspect of the way you game plan against the BIC. But I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think both defenses have enough to slow each other down. I think BIC takes this game, though.
Great.
And see, I actually am going to take the Hawks in this matchup, and it's going to be strictly for the fact that Verges isn't there. And, I know that, Deli, you make some great points. I think that in this one, you say that everyone's just got to shut up and play ball, and they still got Nemeth, they still got Laidback Jones, they still got some other playmakers, right? Let's not forget guys like Savage. Let's not forget Troy. Let's not forget Jay Rolla. Of course, BIC is going to be stacked at their positions, right? They've got the guys that are going to play ball and they're going to play the right way. But in the end, I think the way that Bobby Newman gets his troops together for a spring matchup, you're going to run into a situation where this is probably going to be an upset. And I don't know what I predicted the score to be last week. I may have even picked BIC to win this one. I don't even really remember. But as the time passes and as things go on, I just have a better feeling of how things will work out in Hawks Nation than in BIC Nation. Of course, this could be my 1% that I'm wrong.
Wait. So now I understand. I don't know if Mo caught on to this, but now you see what he does. Justin predicts one team in the beginning of the week and then picks the other team at the end of the week. So whoever wins, you could say, see, I told you that they were going to win. You son of a bitch. That's why he's not.
Look, Peckin, you could say that, man, but first of all, another thing, too, we should have said this from the beginning. If anyone's going to get hurt by what we're saying, don't listen to the show. Don't listen to it for week 2. Don't do it. This is just us being ourselves, being real. We're just going based off fact and what we've seen. Now, Peckin, with that being said, who on the Hawks, what corners do they have to stop laid back, to stop these other receivers, the offensive threats that Neiman can make time for and make plays with.
It's not going to be who they have, because I think you know this. In Townbeef, a cornerback is a cornerback. It could be anyone. If the guy can move and he can stay at least somewhat with the receivers, okay? There really is nothing else to really go on and worry about, right? In the end, what it's going to come down to is going to be a pass rush. And while the Hawks don't have the Bombers or Savage or Chiefs or Zone 6 or Wrecking Crew or SWG type of pass rush, they're the 6th best, 7th best team in the league at this present moment. And how you slice it or not, in the end, they're just very well run. They're a very well run team. Bobby Newman really knows how to get his guys to move and to get his guys to play. And in the end, I just don't really like Nemeth all that much. Everyone talks about how Nemeth is this superstar quarterback. And I'm not saying he's bad in any way, shape, or form, but I really do truthfully believe that Nemeth is not that good. And when you look at it, and when you look at all the information, all the statistics, and everything that goes into it, with Virgie's not being on the field is going to be a huge, huge loss for BIC. And that is what, in my opinion, that is what's going to cost them this victory. It's just, that's my opinion. Again, I can be completely wrong. It doesn't happen often, but this could be one of those times. And, I'll eat my words at the very end if I absolutely have to. But for right now, I just saw the way that the Hawks played against BIC last year in 2 really tough matchups in bad weather without Virgie's. Okay? And I saw how close that game was. And it's basically the same team for the Hawks, but they've increased and updated their offense. And so that's really where I'm coming from. But it's time to move on. We don't really have much more time to really kind of go into this particular matchup. The next matchup on our docket is the Warriors versus the Bombers. Deli, we've already really kind of gone over the Bombers. I think we all know who the Warriors are, unless they've done some massive renovations in the last 6 months, 4 months, whatever, since the fall season ended, right? But how quickly do you think that this particular game can be over with?
It can get out of hand with ease.
In my opinion, it's before it even starts.
It can get out of hand with ease. I don't like predicting my own games or picking my own team and whatnot. I'm not like that. I don't do that. But in this case, I mean, come on.
Pick your team. Pick the game. Come on, man. Let's be real, bro. This one's going to be over before halftime.
This could be the game that's the blowout this week. It also doesn't have to be, because I'm looking at the game, after in the Savage Spartans. But this could be the game because I've seen the Warriors play a lot of games last year, and once you get under their skin, they start fighting with each other. They start arguing with each other, who's yelling at who. Once you do that, it's over, man. You don't even have to be a good team. And you're talking about the Bombers here, so it's going to be a blowout. I have a feeling it's going to be a blowout. Everybody's going to see what the Bombers have to bring to the table. Justin will apologize to me next Saturday and say, wow, Deli, you were right about the defense. So
that's not going to happen. Playing the Warriors, that's not going to happen. Okay?
All right. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll give that to you.
Playing the Warriors, that's just not going to happen at all. And I'm not taking anything. I'm going to go back to this real quick before Mo goes off, because now Deli is starting to piss me off. I am not saying that the Bombers are bad. The Bombers are 1-2. It's historically proven. And until otherwise stated, I'm never going to say anything bad about who the Bombers are, because we all know who they are. Okay? What I'm going to say is we can't continue to believe that the defense is the best defense on the Bombers we've ever seen, and yet they weren't even really that good as a unit in the fall. And that could be because you were trying different things out, or it was the fall, so we didn't really care, all that shit. But in the end, okay, track records prove themselves. Okay? It is what it is. Anyway, I've got the same thing. I've got the Bombers winning this one. I don't think the Warriors even have a quarterback yet. So, who the fuck cares? The same thing is going to go for Spartans versus Savage. I've got the Savage winning really, really easily. Savage took Palouse. I believe they've got Burgos. I believe they've got Rios from the Wrecking Crew. They've got M. Brett. They've got all the guys that we know about. This one's going to be pretty easy to predict.
Shout out to that defense. Gotta give a shout out to that Savage defense, man. That defense is that front seven, man. They're a good defense, man. But I just gotta let it be known. But this is another one as well. This one's gonna be over, man, before it even starts. I think Savage is just too much. They picked up 22-time Rich Kandrora, Andrew Kapal, the dude number 1 from the Rock Boys. Don't remember his name. I know Ace Boogie. I think he's doing his own thing with outside of football for professional football, whatever he's doing. I know Meade is back in college. RF1 is there, I believe. But let's just be real here, man. It's Savage. Savage versus Spartans. Like the previous game before that, this one's going to be over quick.
What do you think, Deli?
Oh, you're going to let me talk because you didn't let Mo predict the game for the Bombers Warriors, so I figured you would skip over me now because you're really disrespectful.
So here's what I'll go back to then, because I'm going to cut you off right then and there. Okay, Mr. You listen because he's well-educated and all that kind of stuff. It's a pure fact that Big Mo told me to move on to the next game because even his prediction for the Bombers Warriors meant absolutely nothing because we were all picking the Bombers. It's just easy. But you didn't hear that. That's perfectly fine.
I said he was well-educated. I didn't say I was well-educated or that I listen well. So what's your point?
Well, if you take the hot dog out of your mouth right now, okay, or the mini sliders you're eating at some bougie-ass restaurant, and you actually listened and decided not to talk, you would know what was going on. So with that said, what do you think is going to happen in the Spartans-Savage game?
Savage spanked them like they spank everybody. I will never lose faith in the Savage. I've seen them build. They're a terrifying team. Period. Mercy rule, yep. Savage.
It's pretty easy to say. I agree with you. So, with that said, we start to get into the 6 p.m. and the 8 p.m. games. Ryan has booked these particular time slots as being the games of the week because of just the sheer importance of the particular matchups. And in the 6 o'clock hour, you have the Silk City Animals going up against the New Jersey Chiefs in what should be one hell of a fucking game.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
Oh, now you want me to give my opinion first before you were young.
Well, all three of us have to give an opinion, so why don't you start it with my question being, why is that? So try again.
So try again. Anyway, we all know what is up with the Chiefs, right? We don't even need to know these secret weapons that they so-called have not been talking about, okay, because they've been talking about them. They can't stop talking about them. You got a couple of wide receivers. You got a couple of cornerbacks. Lil Mo is probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's going to be very close between him and a couple of other new faces. But you're going to have one hell of a defense that can rival the Savage, that can rival Zone 6. This is a defense that is led by Drew, and we all know what Drew is capable of, and Brito, and now you add Big Mo to the middle of that, and it's just going to be a nightmare for many teams, including the Animals, who, until proven otherwise, just don't have a quarterback that can play beef the way that we need to play, that this league needs to play. Now, I heard they picked up a couple of the old ESG players, but who knows who is who and what is what. But in the end, if it's the same old quarterback they've had, he's not bad in any way, shape, or form, but he's not a quarterback. And in beef, you need a guy that's going to be able to make a play on every single snap of the ball. You need an RF1. You need a Nate Hughes. You need a Chris Johnson. You need a King Street. You need a Moose Spit. You need a Vargas. Okay? You need a Nemeth. But they just don't have it. And until they get it, it's not going to matter. Now, because I don't know what the Chiefs have got to come to the table offensively, outside of Red and Vargas, Martinez and T-Bone. I can't necessarily predict that this will be a blowout, and I can't necessarily predict, that it's going to be anything close. I don't necessarily know. Okay? But in the end, I've got the Chiefs winning this one. I've got them winning pretty handedly, but I can't necessarily tell you what that particular score will be. I do think it's going to come down, not down to the final seconds, but the game will end with zeros on the clock.
Okay. I like that. That's good. I'd say the Chiefs win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd probably say 4. I think they have the defense and they have the offensive pieces outside of the new guys. I'd say I could see a 35-7 type of game. That's what I could say.
Yeah.
What say you, Big Mel?
What's up?
What do you think about your matchup for tomorrow?
All right, man. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from what happened last season. We all know the last week of the season, the Cincinnati Animals pulled an upset on the Chiefs. And I'm just going to let everybody know now. And if the Animals, you guys are listening, man, they got a bad fucking taste in their mouth. All right? And you guys upset them. They didn't come to ball. And y'all beat them. There's none. You guys beat them. You surprised Townbeef, and you made it to the playoffs. With that being said, we also know that you had a couple of Wrecking Crew guys on the team, and those Wrecking Crew guys are back on Wrecking Crew. What I have to say is, man, I'm not like you guys. I predict, I can talk about my games just because it's beef and I want to stir shit up a little bit. We're coming to ball. We're going to come fuck you up. That's what it's going to come down to. I'm sour because of fall, bro. I lost in the fall chip. We coming to ball. We coming to fuck you up. Not going to give a score. Just know that come Monday, when you wake up, it's going to be an L on the board for you, and you guys are going to be hurt. Plain and simple.
Nice.
Good call. So that leaves the final game of the night, what everyone is deeming to be the game of the week. I'm not going to name that because it's my own team. I'm not going to do any of that junk and that bullshit. But in the end, it's going to be a great fucking game. On one end, you've got the Gunners defense, basically the Gunners defense from the fall season that brought them to the fall championship. One that gave up, I believe, a total of 28 points, in which case 21 of those points was to the Savage in 2 separate games, including...
Whoa, not true.
You gave up 7 points. You gave up 7 points to the Warriors / Alice Vargas' team, didn't you?
Yes, but that first game when they beat us, they had their 7 points off of their 6 points, I should say, off of an interception return. So they had 14 points.
Okay, just so you're aware, in the NFL, that's considered points against. So
yeah, whatever. This ain't the fucking NFL. It's Townbeef. All right. Listen.
Football is football. Points against is points against.
You don't want to do this right up. You never do your own games. Leave it to me in Deli. All right? Sit back. Enjoy what we have to say, Mr. Peckin. Get your IHOP coupons ready. Whatever it is that you're doing, get your headset ready. And let me and Deli do this, man. All right. Deli, do you want to start off or do you want me to start this off?
Oh, sure. I'll start this one off. I'm going to pick Zone 6 bait only because Wrecking Crew, I have not seen Wrecking Crew in a couple of years. I don't know who they are bringing to this game. If it was Wrecking Crew of the past, I would pick a blowout. But I think maybe only because I have a little bit more insider information on Zone 6, I'm being a little bit biased. But you can't argue that Nate Hughes is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he could really just blank you before you know it. On top of that, Gunners defense, I know it's not the exact defense, but it was still a tough defense. I think that they have their chemistry together to be the upset of the week because I have a feeling that, everybody will jump on the Wrecking Crew bandwagon because they're the Wrecking Crew. I'm going to pick Zone 6 in my upset of the week, and I'll ride with them.
Right, all right. Listen, I'm commentating this game. I can't wait for this game. This game is game of the week, bar none. And listen, the boards, nobody was shy. Everybody hyped it up, and it's going to be exactly that, man. I put up on the boards saying security is going to be needed this game, and the ball said he's bringing eggs. You better bring more than eggs, man. This one's going to get crazy. All right? You got Zone 6, Wrecking Crew. You got some internal issues between inside towns, and these dudes, plain and simple, some of them like each other, some of them don't. All right? I'm going to start off with Zone 6. I played with them. I know what their defense is about. I was part of that monster. You got, you just got some underrated players that fell under the radar up front. They lost old school, up front. Steve Knight, Sherlock. I believe you got, who is it? Justin, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Saul Cruz.
Cruz, he's out there. He's pretty good. You got Justin back there. You got JJ. You got Larry. People cannot sleep on these guys, man. And that was just clearly evident. You could ask anybody from fall ball. You can see these guys play. They can ball. Okay? That defense is real. It's going to be real. Now, if they keep it together, that's cool. But on the other hand, on the other side, man, let's not forget, you're playing Tyree McQueen. You got Hardbody, Marcus out there. You got Mussolini out there. You got A-Star out there. But my prediction, I'm going Zone 6 on this one. And my prediction for this is just because, number one, I haven't never seen Wrecking Crew play. I don't think they're the Wrecking Crew of old because Arisa is with SWG. M-Dot is with Savage. Palouse, I don't know if he's playing anymore, but I don't think he's on Wrecking Crew. I just think if Zone 6 bottles up Tyree McQueen, I think this is going to be an upset. I know a lot of people jump on the Wrecking Crew bandwagon, and I have nothing against those guys. They got some very good players. They got some good athletes. But I just got Zone 6 winning, and I believe it's going to be like a 28-14 type game. Zone 6, Nate Hughes, you got Clark. I think that's going to be a very deadly combination. We all know what Clark can do. The ball said it before. He should have been offensive MVP, I believe, his rookie year. You got Phoenix out there. They got some ballers out there. Now, I don't know if the Wrecking Crew defense can hang out with them because JJ was a DB for Wrecking Crew. Now he's on Zone 6. I don't know what Wrecking Crew really has to offer, and until they show it, I'm just going based off of what I've seen and what I've heard. But nonetheless, I think this is going to be, it could go either way. I just got Zone 6 in a close one. I think it's going to be a very, very good, rough, town beef game. This is going to be the epitome of a town game. Everybody be there. I'm commentating the game. It's going to be insane. I can't wait to watch this one.
Me neither. I'm excited for it, man. I hope it's a good way to close out, the opening week. I really think Ryan did a fantastic job with the schedule, and that's a great way to close out week one. It really is. Can't wait to see this game.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So with that said, that's it for Town Beef Radio's Week 1 edition. We'll be back on the actual radio next week. We'll give more details as we go along, but things are about to get real. We are a little past 24 hours away from the start of that Zone 6 Wrecking Crew game. Teams and players better be doing their last final push-ups and getting ready, because tomorrow is not only going to be messy, it's going to be a hard-hitting, show-stopping kind of day, and it can only be found at Town Beef, New Jersey. See everybody tomorrow. See everybody at Roselle. Stay safe, stay healthy, and just ball the fuck out. To my co-hosts, John Deli and Big Mo, I thank you very much for joining us today, or joining me today. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, hey, I'm commentating the games. If anybody can't reach the games, follow me on Twitter at BigMR99, and I will be tweeting live for that Zone 6 Wrecking Crew game because I know people got work, the kids, whatever the hell they got to do before Monday comes along. So let's get it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't know how to tweet, so sorry, guys. You got your beat for the 2 games I'm commentating. Sorry.
Well, I know how to tweet, so you'll be fine for there, too. Because I'll be manhandling Deli like I manhandled him tonight I'll manhandle him tomorrow when
you
we're
said
commentating.
the word man way too much. You're man-loving right now, number one. And number two, who's commentating
You're
a 6 o'clock game with me?
You're a pretty-ass man. What can I tell you?
Who's commentating a 6 p.m. game with me?
Oh.
With that said, thank you again for joining us in week 1 of Townbeef Radio. Stay safe, stay healthy, and ball the fuck out.
Stay healthy, fellas.